Hello everyone, my name is Jarvis Gordon and I am a Capstone student in Dr. Bowles' Rhetoric, Writing, and Culture class. And today I wanted to introduce you to guys to two different students today. One of them are more so on the liberal arts side and the other side is more on the mathematical coding side. And I wanted to offer you guys two different perspectives on exploring the issue of the intersection of natural languages and computational languages. And I wanted this video to really introduce you guys to an exploration of these two very different students' opinions. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Thank you.
I think that natural language has actually transcended that of artificial language. And I say that because if you look at the way natural language works, it has that clarity of meaning if necessary. Like if it didn't, then we couldn't use meta language and we couldn't talk about coding and we couldn't talk about language if it didn't have that. So it's got that built in already. But even more on top of that, it's adapted to what we need it to do. So it's adapted to expressing things in different ways, and it's adapted like in the same way that. So say you just kill off the human population, right? If you look at how machines operate, machines would no longer be able to operate without human input, without that ambiguity, they wouldn't work. We need that flexibility, so that if what we're saying doesn't make sense, like if what we're saying is ambiguous to certain ears, then we need that flexibility to be able to restate it. I realize that artificial languages don't need that extra bit, but they also can't account for certain things within those languages. For example, if you look at say, what's that word? Recursiveness in natural language. Artificial language can't really account for that, as far as I know. And by that I mean, so if you say, my brother's sister's mom's cousin's friend, like artificial language can't account for stuff like that, while natural language can.
That's awesome, very fascinating.
The reason that we're programming computers to be more human-like is because if you had the choice between interfacing with a bunch of numbers and ones and zeros, or if you had the choice interfacing with a human, what would be easier? Like obviously, if you had a choice of interfacing something that's way more human, it's much easier to use and much more efficient. So if you look at the programming side for people who know how to code already, it's much more easy to sit there and say, hey Jarvis, do this, and not referring to you, referring to Iron Man, versus having to sit there and type up, okay, I want Jarvis to do this, I want this computer to fetch me a French fry. Done. No, and it's much easier to just say, alright, go do that, as you would to a human. Versus if you're not a programmer, you don't even know how to do and create those things, but creating something to be more human-like makes it way easier for you to use and way more efficient in the way that it's done. But the more human-like it gets, the more complex it gets, and the closer to ambiguity it gets. The unfortunate thing with that is that's why I say Siri still sucks, is because the technology that we're talking about doesn't have the ambiguity, and we're still trying to figure out how to put that in there. See a no ground, and that is because they're two separate things. So our devices use that artificial language, but we ourselves don't use the artificial language. And because we're currently, we may not always be, we're currently the masters of those devices. So here's the layer of artificial intelligence, here's our natural language on top of it. We just kind of slap it on. And so I don't think the artificial intelligence itself has affected, or the artificial language itself has affected our language at all. If anything, it's like they're just two separate entities. So our language evolves with the technology, and there's no cross-contamination. Like, we're not any less ambiguous than we used to be. Like, if I send you LOL at the end of a text message, that could mean one thing or it could mean another. It could mean sarcasm, it could mean true laughing out loud, or it could just mean well, I don't care enough to really put anything else. So ambiguity is never going to go away because we're natural creatures, and there's not really a combination of sorts. It's just neither nor.
Well, my initial answer would be yes. If we can get everyone together, everyone are together in one room, and explain the meaning of every single word, explain how to introduce sarcasm with another word, and that sort of thing. But what would happen is, a day later, some person somewhere would create more types of language, or another sort of language, addition to language that other people around him won't understand what it means. So I don't think language could permanently be cement and concrete because it's an ever-evolving thing. And old words are dying and new words are being created, and some words are being reused for other things. I think the focus would be is because humans are just quite smart, and what we want is we want computers to do more than what they do right now, to be more human. Because basically, when I think of a computer, every time I say computer, I think of it as just a very complicated calculator. All it can, like, all the numbers and all the pictures and all you see on the screen are just a bunch of numbers that were calculated in the CPU. So what the hope is to get an AI or a computer such that it can teach itself, or it can learn how to be learn how to do subjectivity and learn ambiguity. Like if you show, like, machines have really difficult problems identifying things like cats or folding towels and that sort of thing. If you give a machine a basket full of towels, it will not know when one towel begins and another towel ends. It really struggles with that. So the idea would be you'd want to be able to make it more human-like and be able to learn in a way and do those sorts of complicated things. I definitely believe this technology itself has made language more standardized, in the sense that everyone can, for the most part, understand everyone else. Back 50 years ago, basically every region of the country had their own dialect, had their own special way of speaking. Nowadays, with TV, texting, and the internet, a lot of those dialects are just dying. It's no longer you have regional slangs. You have national slangs where everyone says the same slang word. So, in a sense, language is becoming more standardized because everyone can understand each other.
Hi everyone. So I want to make sure I take some time out to thank everyone for walking along with me through this video, and a big thanks to Reese and Lane for participating. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I invite you guys to check out my commentary on this video, in which I apply some theory from Catherine Hales and Henry Jenkins, the theory and the concepts that they have used, and really apply them to the things that Lane and Reese have discussed in this video today. So thank you for your time, and I enjoyed your presence here. Thank you.